Heyo.
The first one we're going to talk about is The Box. And this is the next film from director Richard Kelly, who slammed on the screen, or danced on the screen at the Sundance Film Festival with Donnie Darko, cult favorite Donnie Darko. Also a science fiction tale. So this flick, The Box, is based on a...
We're just going to skip over Southland Tales, right?
He also did Southland Tales.
If you haven't seen our review of Southland Tales, do yourself a favor and check it out.
Yeah, don't watch the movie, just watch the review.
Oh, yeah.
So it's based on a Richard Matheson short story. Richard Matheson, I can't even name, I mean, I Am Legend, he wrote the story that I Am Legend was based on, What Dreams May Come, Duel, the Spielberg's first film, and countless others, and a couple Twilight Zone episodes. One of them was Button Button, which The Box is based off of.
Interesting.
Based off.
So, and from what I know of both those stories, the film The Box definitely borrows from both the short and the Twilight Zone episode.
As well as lots of its own invention.
Yeah, so basically the first act of The Box is the short story.
Right.
And then the next 2/3 is Richard Kelly's adaptation. It stars Cameron Diaz and James Marsden as a young married couple who are approached by Frank Langella, this mysterious figure, disfigured figure, who gives them a box with a button in it, and gives them the proposition: if they push the button, they will make $1 million. And this is set in the 70s.
Yeah, so it's like...
So $1 million, and but if they push one, they'll get $1 million, but someone they do not know will die.
Cool, huh?
Yes. And Jeff, you mentioned 76, set very distinctly amongst the Viking landing, and I know
Very
you're...
heavily based on Richard Kelly's own family, parents. His dad worked at NASA. His mom had a odd foot problem that was an unfortunate malpractice.
Right.
So there's a lot of stuff in the film that's based on his own life. I probably will alienate myself from a lot of our audience by saying I never liked Donnie Darko. And we are all very clear about how I felt about Southland Tales. So I was really hoping this would be the first Richard Kelly film that I would love. And I didn't love it, but I didn't dislike it. I found it very interesting. The beginning and the end are fantastic. Unfortunately, there's a large chunk in the middle that is just Richard Kelly mumbo jumbo. We go on this wild tangent that I didn't get much out of. And I think, unfortunately, what happened is this was a really fantastic half-hour idea that was turned into a feature-length film, and it just couldn't support it. It's a delicious proposition, this premise that was set up, and he makes a wonderful Twilight Zone-esque ending. But unfortunately, the whole middle section isn't interested in what the premise, the ramifications of the premise. We don't ever find out, because she does push the button, we don't ever really explore what that means. And unfortunately, what we do get is this meandering, up its own butt sci-fi thing that eventually comes back around to something really cool, but...
Yeah, he's definitely a man that loves weird moving water. That man saw the abyss and fell in love. It's like all of his movies have that weird, like, flowy water.
He's got a lot of, I noticed in this film, he's got a lot of tropes. I mean, he also has a lot of this.
Yeah.
You know?
And a lot of, like,
concurrent thing in all his films.
People doing normal things in one person like this, and then boom, boom. I liked Donnie Darko a lot. I wouldn't say that I love Donnie Darko because of sort of some of the things you said about this film, where it just kind of gets, I don't really know what's going on, but I like the feeling that it's giving me, you know? Obviously disliked Southland Tales, but I mean, Southland Tales was, you know, these are the two sort of whatever. Anyway, I like this movie more than I thought I would like it. However, I totally agree with you. It starts really well. It's got a great sort of slow burn kind of thing.
And you also grew up Similar place, NASA.
Similar place.
Time.
Well,
a little bit.
no,
older
not
than
really.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was born in '76,
okay,
so
alright,
that was
yeah.
that. And my dad really didn't start working for the whole space stuff until I was 15.
Okay.
Other than that, exactly.
Exactly like that.
But
I
there was a
have
weird
that
disfigured
coat.
man.
So anyway, so it was really good. I definitely found myself enjoying it, and though the middle is a little bit like, wait, what library are they in? Why? It really does wrap up really nicely, and I think overall I enjoyed it. Like I said, more than I thought I would enjoy it. Did I love it? Nah. But now I see the trailers, and I was like, yeah, that was really exciting.
I actually was definitely a sincere fan of Donnie Darko. I love that movie more and more the more I watch it. And I think that this was like Donnie Darko, Southland Tales. In that it was very simple and suggestive, and then it started exploring too much of its own ideas, and I feel like the movie gets caught up in trying to, whereas a lot of science fiction and Twilight Zone stories are just a lot of questions and a twisty answer. And this, I feel like
a twist that brings up yet another question.
Right.
And
then it ends.
And I feel like he really wanted to and I felt like Southland Tales was like this as well. I was like, I'm going to give you answer. I'm going to keep showing you more and more where more people are vague. I'm going to show it to you, but in a vague way.
Right.
And that cheapens it.
Yeah, it really doesn't satisfy. It's like a magician who tells you how he does his tricks.
Right.
Or explains way too much about the trick. I like his style. I think that what's distinct about him is that I feel like he operates so much more on mood than shots. Like it's about the way the production design and the music, which by the way is done by the indie band Arcade Fire, their first ever film score, which I thought was extremely effective.
Hell yeah!
And it's like the way things look and the music do so much more storytelling than one shot to the next. I mean, and he's a competent designer of shots in his film, but I think that specifically is where he's really working on all cylinders. But
there's a little bit of Kubrick in some of the stuff that he does. You know what I mean?
Very still, and there's some symmetrical stuff. But I was disappointed.
I wish once that button is pressed, I want us to stick with those people and figure out what the ramifications are. Like the idea that they got money is completely abandoned. There's no. We just kind of wander off into this weird other place and then circle back around.
I kind of wish there was. I think
more about them.
I think
like,
the whole
using
movie.
The money
You could have had a whole movie about the 24 hours and deciding what to do.
Right.
That would have said the same stuff.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been up Richard Kelly's alley. I know that, but
Alley. I didn't think he was going to say
I didn't
alley.
think he was going to say alley either.